didn't know to wear red.
I know.
Did I miss this memo?
This is one of those
You're
birthday twin
perfect.
things that I think happened. We accidentally came both wearing red, so that was a fun thing. Hi, Robin. I'm
Yes.
Jess.
Hey,
This is
Jess.
Jess.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, are you ready to get started, Robin?
Let's do it.
Okay. Hi, Robin Barnes, the Songbird of New Orleans. Welcome to She What?
Thank you for having me.
All right, now we just have to sing all of our intros and outros from now on. Hi, I'm Jess.
And I'm
Oh, that was-
Maureen. Wow,
I love it. You're hired. You can be my backup
God.
singers. It's fine.
oh my God,
I
any
think that's
day,
enough, yeah.
any day. Well, we are so happy that you're here with us, and it's so nice to see you. We know you just got off a plane from Thailand, so we appreciate you working
I'm
with
here.
us in the time difference.
For you.
And you're the best. So Jess and I were getting to talk about you a little bit earlier today, and I was filling her in on who you are and what you do, and I knew you were going to sing. I said, I bet she's going to sing for us.
I just didn't know she was going to sing her right from the jump, just right out of the gate.
I sing talk. I can't help it. It is a part of who I am. I sing talk. It's always happening.
I love it.
When you have a voice like that, why wouldn't you?
Heart. Thank you, my love.
So Jess, we were talking about, we wanted to kind of back it up a little bit to give our listeners a little bit of your history that, you grew up in the lower Ninth Ward of New Orleans. So we know that Katrina must have been a huge thing for you, and you are the youngest of 7 children.
I know, right? And I was not spoiled.
The baby was not spoiled.
No, I had 6 brothers, and most people are like, oh, I bet they treated you like a princess. And I'm like, no, that's why I can eat very fast. Okay, it was highly competitive. I'm a complete tomboy.
They're like, you better keep up, girl.
Exactly.
Survival of the fittest. Okay, we're going to back up, and I'm going to ask you again about your growing up in the lower Ninth Ward of New Orleans, which people most famously know about from Katrina. And you are the youngest of 7 children.
So, first of all, I'm always surprised by how many people think they understand the lower Ninth Ward, that area. And for me, it was honestly such a fabric of who I am. People always wonder how I'm such an entrepreneur, how I can be so diverse, focusing on that of living and enjoying life, but also family. Growing up in the lower Ninth Ward, I mean, my entire mother's side of the family lived down there. So it was not like you could be running around crazy because your uncle was probably the next block. Your auntie was probably one of the teachers at your school. And it was just a beautiful time, I would say, growing up, especially with the fact that there were so many people that were about entrepreneurship. Like, for example, our next door neighbor, Mr. Loomis, I love him to death. He was the mailman, but he was also the local barber. And then across the street, Miss Rose was the cafeteria lady at her job, but she also was the school bus lady. So I would learn that, if I was one of her good helpers going from school and after school, I'd get like rewarded with candy because she also owned the sweet shop of the neighborhood.
Of course she did.
Of course she did. And that taught me like, wow, the importance of hard work, but also like being a little bit more thinking outside the box of what people tell you have to do, and then doing what you want in addition to that. So that's kind of how I've been able to be so successful with my career. I mean, I have been shown that love of detail with your life, but also, like I said, just being able to think bigger and better. And that was my lower Ninth Ward. And the fact that we all grew up on so many people's porches, and every person had a different music coming out of their house. And my mom loved Elton John, so we were the weird ones, like most people have like, Al Green or Louis Armstrong, and my mom's like, Rocket Man, it's like
You were the outlier.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, growing up in the Ninth Ward was amazing. Unfortunately, after Katrina, my entire close-knit family was dispersed. So it caused an entire generation of loss for my family. So my family was very much orators. Like they taught everything through oral tradition, down to food. So my grandmother and my grandfather never wrote down a recipe. Growing up every Sunday, we had gumbo. we had corn machu, we had shrimp creole, and learning how to make all these things you would have been taught exactly the same age I was when Katrina hit. So my cousins and all of us never learned any of our grandparents cooking. And then everyone was displaced, so only myself and a small like number of my family stayed in New Orleans. And to this day, I will say the idea of these get-togethers seem almost like a dream.
Wow. That's
That's
heartbreaking.
really hard. Yeah, that is heartbreaking.
But you talk about orators and the music, you've carried that tradition on, even though you don't sing like Elton John, you sing like Robin Barnes, which is a very, very specific sound. And right now you just had a new single drop, right?
Yes! Brand new single called Hey Nah. And I'm just so excited because I feel like New Orleans, we have this blessing of our culture that we have so many crazy things happen and the world's like, what? And yet it's always something where we don't take one day for granted. So it's always a cause of celebrating each day as if it were your last, or making the most out of each day, each moment. I mean, y'all, that's why we have over 150 festivals. Like, this is the city that celebrates everything
it's a
from mac
Tuesday,
and
let's
cheese.
Party. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? March 5th, Mardi Gras. But it's an exciting time, and I wanted to be a part of that. I always feel like growing up, you always hear classic music. You always hear the traditional Mardi Gras. I was like, I want to be a part of that fabric. I want to put my fingerprint on a New Orleans tradition. So I did my rendition of a famous song, Iko Iko, we all heard growing up, but I put my spin on it with an amazing artist, Big Frida, Hasizzle, who are bounce artists, and of course, a brass band, Kings of Brass. You had to have all the elements of what I love about my city, what I love about our music, and then a little Robin Barnes on top. So it's magic.
It is so good. I put it on and then I just have it on repeat and I'm like walking around the house singing it. And I know there's some history there to that song though. So what made you want to remake Iko Iko?
So growing up, obviously, when we say oral tradition, Mardi Gras Indians, there's so much history in what is Mardi Gras, the masking of Mardi Gras Indians, to the fabric of their suits, down to the celebration of what a parade is. And I will say my first memory of Mardi Gras is Iko Iko, watching my family sing Iko Iko as we're literally walking down the street, and my first float I got to see, which y'all have seen floats, but they're larger than life and they're colorful and they're beautiful. And you see somebody throwing you things. I'm like, gifts? Someone's giving me something? And there's music and there's beauty and there's color. And I love that song more than anything. And it's so funny because that particular song, especially for Mardi Gras, has transcended beyond New Orleans. I feel like that is a song that nationally, internationally, if anyone is thinking of a New Orleans capsule, it is Iko Iko by the Dixie Cups and obviously the Crawfords. It is starting with a Mardi Gras Indian chant with a call and response. And with that, it's talking about the tradition of the Mardi Gras Indians with the spy boys. So traditionally, when Mardi Gras Indians are coming through, they're having their conversation and they're having their kind of like, instead of like a turf war, it's more like, look at my beautiful like suit. My suit's beautiful. Is your suit beautiful? And it's like that competition because they spend the entire year with beads sewing their Mardi Gras suits. And the person who sees all of this before to inform the crew that another crew is coming is the spy boy. So that's why it's my spy boy to your spy boy sitting by the fire. He's the one seeing it first, and he's letting y'all know, hey nah, Iko Iko, they're coming.
I love it.
Oh, that is amazing. I did not know any of that history. You come across, even in this short time we've been together, as someone who started singing when she was out of the womb. Like, boom, you came out just singing along. But tell us about singing when you were 6 years old and you were singing Ave Maria, I think, to your congregation. And you made everyone cry. Is that right?
Yes, made everyone cry because it was horrible. No,
Robin, just slide back just a little because you're spiking again. I see the mic. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can't help it. I'm such an energetic person. You have a singer
Yeah,
online.
we love it. We love the energy.
So my entire family are musicians, and music has been a part of our culture for generations. So my family has been playing in jazz bands as well as church for as far as we know. And I was the little one, remember the seventh child. So all the instruments were gone by the time I came along. And so all that was left was music, was singing. So I was with my family's church band, and I got to have my first solo, and I was so nervous. I was used to just clapping and whistling in the background. And my first one was Ave Maria. Just to give you a little insight, I had the most crazy stage fright. I mean, I was 6 singing a solo, but the moment I started singing and I closed my eyes and I was just feeling, you get chills when you hear those certain notes, and they were my notes. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how this sounds. And then I opened my eyes and I'm watching just half of the church in tears because they were so moved by this. And that was the moment I was like, wow, music is so powerful. Music can move people. Music can transport people to another place. And I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Wow, talk about orator. She's telling stories just so easily, Jess. Like, don't you just feel it? Like, when you
feel
talk,
it.
Robin, I can just feel it. I can see the people around you. I felt like I was in that church when you just told that story. And so there is a reason why you are called the Songbird of the South. Can you tell us what's behind that moniker?
So I'm so glad you're letting me explain this, because people always go, Songbird, explain it. I'm like, well, my name is Robin. Let's start there. Robin is the first bird of spring. So when springtime comes, the first notes you're hearing from birds is a robin. That being said, my name also means bright flame. And my mother, another orator, has always believed there's power in name. And that comes from our culture and our traditions. So from being called little bird when I was growing up, little songbird, always the little tweet, 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 to really coming into my own, it is a big honor in New Orleans music, especially with the local legends. They bestow a title if you are standing out. If you are a part of that next generation of the future of New Orleans music, they give you a title. And I was so honored to, there's Shannon Powell, the King of Treme, Louis Armstrong, the father of jazz, and to be given by the city of New Orleans the name, the Songbird of New Orleans, the Songbird of the South, trademarked, by the way, trademarked. It was a huge, huge honor.
Oh man, I don't think the Songbird of Philly is happening for me anytime in this lifetime, but
Yeah, me either. One thing I cannot do is sing. I cannot sing, but it's interesting to hear you talk about how you've come into your own, because when we met was a long time ago, if you remember. You weren't married yet. You had no kids. We were in a cave in Cognac, France.
Cognac, France, yeah.
I was on a press trip and Robin was there as the entertainment. And I just think back to that was so long ago. How did you even end up in France? And I know you travel around the world now for your job. So how did that happen?
I think, from what I remember, there was a person that came to one of my shows. I was the headliner at the Windsor Court Hotel in New Orleans, and this person just was like awkwardly staring at me for a minute during my show, and I was like, "Hi," I'm that person. I'm like, "Hi," just started talking to them, and they were just like, "You." My favorite part was they were like, "You don't seem like you would be singing here. You seem like you belong on a bigger stage." And I was like, thank you, And they were like, well, what are you doing? Do you travel internationally? And I'm like, absolutely. I love traveling internationally. At that time, I had never traveled internationally. I was like, I travel all the time. And the person's like, well, with your culture with France and Spain, there's so many places that you should be. And they're like, what are you doing on this date? I'd love to stay in touch. And y'all, do you know how many people come and say, I'd love to hire you for this? And you're like, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Show me the money.
Sure. And it was funny because when I got the gig, they were like, so she's going to sing in a dungeon.
Basically, we were underground.
We were underground in this beautiful place, but they were like, so we're going to go to Cognac, France. She's going to sing in a dungeon. It's going to be fine. And I'm just like, okay, let's go for it. And then it was such a beautiful experience, and I got to meet
It
so many
was.
amazing people like you. But the fact that we were in the honestly, we were in the celebratory hall of what was it, King Henry the Eighth's
Yeah, it
celebration of
was
his first
amazing.
son. I was like,
Yeah.
what?
We get to do cool things sometimes in our jobs, but your voice then even was amazing. But what really stood out to me was we talked after the performance, and you said that you really wanted to be a mom one day. And at that time, I was traveling. I had little kids already, so I was balancing the work life situation, being a mama. And now here you are with two kids, and you just performed at the pre show for the Super Bowl. So, like, talk about coming into your own. This is like been so crazy to watch you just continue to thrive. So, what was that like, and what were you doing at the Super Bowl?
Well, first of all, thank you for always sending the good vibes. I really believe a lot of my success is through a lot of y'all praying and sending the good vibes for me because being an independent artist is hard. And not trying to assign to a label right away is also very hard. So when I have all these blessings and these miracles and these opportunities like the Super Bowl, it means a lot, especially to the little guy. So the pre-show Super Bowl, they found me, which you ever had those moments where you're like you hear everything the person's saying on the call, but you also are just like having an outer body experience. You're like looking down at yourself and you're like, did they just say what I said they said? And that happens after you hang up the phone, right? You're like, yeah, 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 yeah. Click. And then you start screaming. That's what happened. My agent called me and she was like, hey, the Super Bowl would like you to do the pre-show. I think she goes, I think it would be a cool opportunity. I was like, yeah, I think it'll be fine. It could be cool. I think that'd be great. Yeah, exactly. Hang up the phone. I'm screaming. My cats are jumping all over the place. My children start screaming because they think something's wrong. It was hilarious. But that was such an amazing opportunity. I mean, first of all, the honor of playing at the Super Bowl. Second of all, the to be selected, New Orleans, y'all don't understand. New Orleans has a plethora of amazing talent. Like, I am just honored to be in that number, especially as they call me like a living legend. I'm like, whoa, that's a whole nother level. But to be given the task of representing your home, let alone being in front of hundreds of thousands of people, it's I was a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little nervous, and I was nervous until I stepped on stage. The minute I stepped on stage and sang that first note, I was just in heaven. But huge honor. I think this is just the beginning of a lot of amazing things, and I'm just excited to see what's next. If I already checked off the Super Bowl, what is next?
Yeah, girl, I can't wait.
Yeah. But it hasn't been 100% smooth sailing for you the whole time. You had a pretty scary health situation a little while back. Can you tell us a bit about what happened?
So I came off a tour from Greece and had a wonderful time, and ended up what I thought was jet lag, and come to find out I had a worst chain of a kidney infection that left my right kidney permanently damaged. I was walking with a cane at 23 years old. I was on 8 medications, 4 were painkillers, and my doctor basically told me I needed to revamp my lifestyle, eat healthy, be active. And as a New Orleanian who loves to eat a lot of carbs, and the most we do is walk in a parade or a second line, that's kind of hard. It's like, what is this? What do you mean workout? But at the time, unfortunately, there was no free or affordable fitness in New Orleans. So I was using my entire life savings to pay for my medical bills, and I just needed support. So I made one Facebook post to my fans and told them my situation, and if anyone wanted to come run or walk with me at City Park on Monday, I would be so grateful. And it was crazy. 10 people I never met in my life showed up. And from there, we have expanded to free cardio fitness from run walk groups on Mondays to throughout the week. We do dance cardio, yoga, breath work, all free to the community throughout different parts of the city and different parks, City Park, Crescent Park. I wanted to make sure that we kept it accessible to anyone. So there would be no one that would have to go through what I went through, which was you couldn't afford to be healthy. But then most importantly, we wanted to create a safe space that also was encouraging of others, kept the spirit of New Orleans, which is we love our culture. And just because being healthy and it may be something new and being moving and being fit, it's still something we can do while enjoying our life as New Orleanians. And so I'm proud to say we're making 12 years this year, all free to the community. We have only been able to receive one grant, which is crazy. We've been able to fund this amazing program, up to 7 classes a week, all through paid partnerships or through corporate gigs, which is my favorite because convincing corporations that they should hire us for icebreakers doing twerking. We call it corporate twerk, you know. I mean, we do also the yoga, we do the run walk group, but the dance cardio ones are a top hit.
And I
And
love
for
the
our
name.
listeners, that's
yeah.
I was just gonna say that. Go ahead, Maureen.
Well, Jess and I are always on the same page. I mean, we're both wearing pink today. You all can't see it, but we are. We were going to just ask you what the name of it is.
Best name ever.
Best.
Move Ya Brass. And how the name came up was I was during my recovery, I was in a lot of pain, and my mother just felt I was, depressed. And she came in my room, she opened the curtains, and she said in her New Orleans accent, "Girl, you better get off your ass and move your brass." And that is the name. That is the name.
I love it. I love it.
My mom
I
said
still-
things
yeah.
like that to me plenty of times before, and it didn't turn into anything that cute or good. So good on you.
It's so good.
Your
And if you
brass.
ever- Yeah, if you ever see them, they're listening to like the best music. I saw you doing the Aiko Aiko. Everybody's out there shaking it, having a great time, staying healthy. I love it so much. I'm still waiting for my yellow tank top. Did you make some more merch?
I am sending one to you.
Oh, I'm teasing. I'm teasing. They have the cutest merch. I mean, it's pretty much as cute as the She What merch, Jess, but it's up
Okay.
there. The Move Your Brass. It's so
Move your
cute.
brass.
I'm sending you
love
both
that.
some. I want to see y'all twerking in them.
You won't see.
I
You won't
will-
see me twerking.
I will
but
make
you-
Jess twerk.
No, that's not
Yes.
happening.
Yes. Robin, tell Jess that you're not going to
I
let
could
us
look
air
cute.
this interview
I could look
unless she
cute in my
twerks.
yellow tank, but twerking.
We
no,
can't.
that's not.
We can't air it until you twerk. Hey, I can't. I can barely dance and I twerk. Okay, we'll
can
work
dance.
it.
We all have our own skills and talents. Okay,
I'll tell you.
twerking. Twerking's
She
not a
looks
must.
great in the moving. I have to say, Robin, every time I see you and now Pat, your husband,
Yes.
together, you just give off such old Hollywood vibes. Like, I don't know who is shooting your photography, who's doing your hair and makeup, your glam. You guys look, it's so dreamy. It feels like every time I see an image of you two, you are living this just beautiful, beautiful life.
That makes me so happy because we're such geeks. We started this duo called The Lovebirds, and how it started was during the pandemic. My husband is a bass player. We're both musicians, so because of the pandemic, we both lost our jobs, and we were brand new parents, so no income, brand new parents. How are we gonna make money? So my husband was like, he's a bass player, and he's like, well, maybe I can like learn guitar. Okay, I'll just learn guitar, and we could do duo sets on Facebook Live, and it was great. He learned guitar in 2 months, I think. And then we started doing weekly Facebook Lives, and that's kind of how we stayed afloat financially. So after we survived, I wanted to really set myself up to being just an artist, no longer doing weekly shows as Robin Barnes. Robin Barnes is doing special shows or festivals. But Peacock Room asked us to do a duo, and I was like, okay, duo's a separate brand. We could do the Lovebirds. And then I told my husband, and Maureen, this is why I'm laughing at you with your love for our looks. I told him, I said, okay, Robin Barnes is a happy, bubbly person, okay? So the Lovebirds have to be super sexy, okay?
It is.
No, I was like, Pat, I don't know if you've seen my husband, but he has a bigger smile than me. I was like, no smiling, just smizing. Everything has to be posed, and we have to be super serious. And do you know it worked?
Seriously, it is. That is what you're giving. You're 100% giving serious old Hollywood vibes. Like, very serious note, goofy, smiling, geeky, nothing. It's like pure sex appeal.
Thank you. You
Tell
made
him
my
he's
day.
killing it. Tell him he's killing it. Good job, Pat.
It is so funny, like when the people have to do photography with us, and they're like, "You guys can smile." We're like, no, we can't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why we have a deep, overtly sexual voice when we talk to people, but it's like, we only smize, you know? But yes, the lovebirds are cute.
So cute.
Tell us about your two littles. You have two kids, right?
Yes, I have two little ladies.
Crazy to me.
They're, oh my gosh, they're so cute. It's so humbling watching yourself as a mirror with one and then watching your husband have his own little mirror because our eldest child is me. She she's so hyper and she can talk forever. And one day I told Pat, I said, "Oh my God, she doesn't stop talking." And he just looked at me. He didn't say a word. And I was just like, "Are you trying to say something?" He's like, "Literally, I am saying nothing." But then our youngest, who's not even two, she is my husband. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. I'm gonna have to put insurance out on this kid because my husband is a daredevil. Like, he's very quiet, but he's that person that's like, "Oh wow, there's a cliff, I'll jump. Oh wow, there's like skydiving, I'll do it. Oh wow, snowboarding, I'll do a backflip." You know, it's like New Orleanian in me. I'm like, helicopter, no, no, no. But he's a Colorado boy and they love outdoor stuff. So my littlest one, we went to the trampoline park and she's like, "Dude, I think I'm gonna fly." I was just like, "What are you doing?"
Whoa.
Everything's like, "I'm gonna jump, I'm gonna jump, I'm gonna do this." And when we travel, my husband's like, "It's fine, it's fine." And it wasn't until like, I think she got like a really like skinned like knee and she was bleeding. That's when he went, "Okay, well maybe she's not fine. Maybe we should bring it back a little bit." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Versus
Reel it in. Come on, Pat.
my
Reel it
my eldest one is just so feeling. Everything's feeling. Like, I feel like I just really wish I had pink on today, but I understand you wanted me to wear purple, but I really like pink. And then I'm like, I feel like you should just go with the flow and everybody just be fine. It's just so funny watching us together.
Now they're little, so how are you guys pulling off like these night performances? And you just took a big trip to Thailand for Pat's 40th. Happy birthday, Pat.
Happy birthday, Pat.
Who's holding down the fort? What's it look like to balance, your work-life balance now?
I will
Mom.
say it's definitely a challenge. We have babysitters, which is a financial burden, right? So you go from you're working at night, you're getting a set pay, if you will, and normally that's your income. But then now it's like, oh yeah, cool, cut that by a quarter because babysitters are expensive. Especially when you're like, "Hi, I have a gig for 3 hours. Could you come 2 hours prior and stay 1 hour after?" So that's like
Right.
6 hours, right? Versus a normal babysitter, when you guys go out on dates, you're like, "Oh, we'll be back in 2 hours." It's like, it's a little different. So the price tag's different, but we're very, very blessed that my mother, my family's here, they're a big support. And then we will, for longer trips, we'll have to like fly in help. So like Pat's mom is retired, she'll come in and she's just like a sweet little Colorado lady. She's like, "Let me cook for you guys. Would you like to have me bake you fresh cookies from scratch?" I'm like, "Eat it up, kids, because you ain't getting it from the New Orleans mama." Okay.
It does take a village
It
to
does.
get it done.
Well, you performed with your dad at a very young age, isn't that right?
I performed with my dad since from 5 years old until 25.
Wow.
And then I then switched to my husband. Yeah.
So are your little girls going to start to sing with you at some point? Is that something they love?
First of all, we have a dueling piano in the middle of our living room. Our children already love music.
Oh my
It's kind of
goodness.
crazy. I call my youngest child Animal, with the drums, because she just loves it. She just like Wreck-It Ralph. She's like, yeah, she's gonna be into rock or something crazy. But my eldest, she loves the piano and she loves to sing, which she's been mimicking me lately. And I'm like, do I sound like that? Like she'll be like, y'all, I'm not making this up. She'll be like, "Swigga, swigga," and I'm like, who sings like that? Do I sing? Do you think mommy sings like that? I'm like, what is this weird Britney Spears like rendition? And she's just like, and we try not to laugh because we want to encourage her, but like she's been like, I don't know, I'll have to send you Marine videos. It's pretty entertaining. But
I can't wait.
this last festival season, I asked her if she wanted to come on stage with me for French Quarter Fest, and she goes, "No, no, mommy, I would never." And then she surprised me halfway during the show, and she came on and she sang and she said hello to like thousands of people, and she entertained. And this year, I'm playing at Jazz Fest, and she was like, "Mommy, I need us to make sure that we are coordinating our outfits, okay?
Oh,
So
she's in.
if you're wearing green, I need to wear green, but a lighter green because I am a child." I'm like, okay.
Wow. We need to get her signed on. Make sure you get a contract for her, putting her up on
I
that
don't,
stage.
I don't know, man. I think we're
Jazz
creating a
Fest.
monster here.
I
Lock
don't
that
know.
girl in.
Yeah, lock her in. If she sounds like her mom, definitely. I would love to hear her.
Baby bird.
Baby bird, another baby bird. I love it. So you were saying you feel like big things are coming. What else? I mean, you just did the Super Bowl. What else could there? You just dropped another single. Like, what are you doing? Manifest it. Put it out there in the universe right now.
Oh, we're manifesting. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
What do you want it to be?
I will be dropping 2 more singles this year in
Yay!
2025, and then I will be I'm excited. I will be dropping my debut album in 2026.
Amazing.
And y'all, I'm so
happy for you.
excited. I feel like my whole career I've always done singles or EPs, which means extended play, 6 songs. I've never done a full album because I wanted to find my voice. I wanted to find my sound. My entire career, I have been having this dualism of finding my voice, but then being told what I need to do. I keep running into managers that say, "Oh, well, you look like this, so this is what you need to start looking like," or "You sound like this, so this is what you need to do." And I've been battling it so much that finally I was like, you know what? I want to pay homage to my roots for my first album. I want to show the world Louisiana music. So, not to give too much away, but just know that when you're hearing even the singles may be a little different, but they're all adding up to a larger picture of who is Robin. I am a 8th generation Louisianian. Our music has withstand the test of time. I mean, if you think about New Orleans culture, Louisiana culture, from jazz to Zydeco to Cajun to Creole spirituals, the fact that this music still exists when there's so many things like pop and bounce and there's so many variations that could have just wiped this music out. But there's something about that fabric of American music that is withstanding a test of time, and I'm a part of that fabric, and that's what I'm excited to share with the world. Not just New Orleans, not just Louisiana, the world. And I just hope that, manifesting great things, I'm hoping from there I'll be able to really get on a platform that can showcase things more nationally, internationally, not just getting a cool gig in Cognac, France, not just getting a call, but being the call.
Amazing.
Being the call. Yes.
Yeah. I feel it's coming.
As you've kind of found your way to who is Robin and what is your music and what are you passionate about and what do you want to put out there to the world, what has been the best advice that you've gotten and how have you sort of like found your way to following your own heart?
I have been blessed to have family who have been in this industry, not necessarily to help me get to a next level, but have been a part of the beginning. So I have an amazing cousin, God rest his soul, Dave Bartholomew, who is a super legend. He is one of the creators of rock and roll. He's a co-writer with Fats Domino. That's in my family, that's in my blood. And he told me when I was much younger, I would be in his living room while he's playing trumpet and be surrounded by his he was signed with BMI with the recording royalties. Like, this is the people that collect the royalties for your music. This man in New Orleans, Louisiana, sitting in a room full of massive certificates of platinum, gold, all talking about owning your music, owning your words, and being the master of your destiny with owning all of your creativity. That's who taught me from the beginning. I feel like a lot of artists find out the hard way about how important owning their music is. But I say that to say that was one part. The favorite quote I love, I was trying to get with this agent, and he told me, first of all, a little girl from the lower ninth ward could never get on the Billboard charts. I will tell you right now. Well, after that, I charted the Billboard charts with my debut EP, and I charted top 5 for 14 weeks. So, poo him. But how I had that confidence was because this man wanted me to shave my head. He wanted me to wear a straight weave. He wanted me to be more bohemian or whatever's working for my complexion. Let's put it that way. And my cousin told me, I was like, I don't know, maybe I should, this guy says if I just become look like everyone else, I'll get a big hit or I'll get signed, all these things. And he said, and I hope you get this because it's such a New Orleans thing. He said, baby, it's a sad day when a flamingo wants to look like another turkey.
Truth. That is so true. And you are a flamingo. You are not a turkey.
You are no turkey. No turkey.
You are no turkey. I love it. I love
That's
it.
what I tell everyone that, you be you. You be uniquely you, and that's beautiful.
Yeah. And being a creative person and being in a creative industry, like you talked about, how it's difficult. You're taking your gig pays and now you're managing a family. When you look back to that phone call that brought you to Cognac, that I got to meet you from, thankfully, what would you tell yourself now that you didn't know then?
I'm so proud of you. I know.
Yeah. I'm proud of you too.
I wish, I'm glad through my journey of learning and discovery, I'm grateful for it, but I wish I would have just told myself, it's gonna be okay. Just keep pushing forward. I've learned so far in this industry, if you will, or any industry, my God, the most successful people are the people that don't give up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just keep at it.
Mm-hmm.
You
No
mentioned
turkeys
that
here.
no turkeys here. You
No
mentioned
turkeys.
that whole melange of music that makes up who you are now and the kind of sound that you want to have. I'm wondering if you can sing a little of that for us so we can get a taste for what that is. Even just a note or two. I can't, for me, I'm having a hard time putting it all together when you say all of those different things that are a part of you.
I don't want to clap, but so when you think of traditional New Orleans is more jazz. So it could be dum 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 dum. We're downtown New Orleans. Everybody say how you doing, baby. It's like that more uplifting, a little bit of jazzy, a little bit of quick. So funny enough, Zydeco is kind of the same, but it's almost with an accordion and a washboard. So it's like yeah, my bell. It's like I can't do it without spoons, but it's a little bit more. You've seen the gesture, I don't know why the gesture has the neck thing, but
I won't twerk, but I will bring the spoons for you next time.
listen.
She's gonna twerk. She's gonna move her brass. I'll tell you right now. I'm gonna get her to.
Girl, we gonna get you to move your brass. Just wait. Get you a little couple of hurricanes, and you shall.
She'll like that. Jess, you'll like a little New Orleans hurricane.
Hey, I love New Orleans. I'm a huge New Orleans fan.
Yeah, what's not to love, Nola?
Exactly.
I just want to say, Robin, I'm so happy to see your face. I'm so happy to see your smile. But we are so happy that you joined us on She What? When we were starting this podcast and we were talking about women who constantly make us say, She What? That's you for me. For me, you're one of my she whats, and there's so many things you've done along the way that I'm like, she what now? I can't keep track of all the amazing things you're doing. Who's someone for you that's a she what?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, Maureen, you're one of them. Every time I look at your Instagram, I'm like, she what? So thank you for having me. I think one of my she whats would definitely be she no longer here, but she what would be Tina Turner. I always was so inspired by Tina Turner and her resilience and passion and power. Oh my gosh, that woman is phenomenal. I would say my more current she what? Putting me on the spot. I love that now. I'm gonna be like, she what?
Yeah. We love it
You
too.
coined it. You got to use it.
I think Wow, y'all, this is hard. Oh my gosh, because there's so many women.
There's going to be so many that come to you after we talk. You're going to be thinking, her, and her.
I think someone who I think is really amazing, and I hate to say this, I don't really know, I can't say their name. It's the beautiful soul who is in Wicked.
Oh, right. I always say her
In the
name wrong
movie?
too.
Yes, but
Yes.
she's green.
Cynthia. Oh, the one who played Elphaba.
Alphaba, yes.
Yeah, Elphaba.
She's a she. What? Because
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, her acting is of course is profound, but her voice. Oh my gosh. It's rare for me to listen to someone who is using their voice for a platform and bringing people into knowledge of social injustice, but then also this girl, like the notes that come out of it when she performs, it's almost so finite, it's intense, and you're like, oh my god, and she went higher with that note and higher with that note. Like, I think, you know, she's amazing, but I think there's so many amazing women that
Cynthia
what?
Erivo. I think that's who.
Cynthia Erivo.
There you go. That's what I meant to
Robin
say.
Barnes. Yeah, that's how Jess was going to say it, just like
I was
that.
going to say it like that. And then...
Well, Robin Barnes, you are amazing, and we are so thrilled that you were here with us today. And we were just so thrilled to hear you sing even just a couple of bars. We will be anxiously awaiting your release, your debut album this year. And we just want to say thank you so much for being with us today on She What?
Thank you for having
Thank you for coming on our show.
No, let me say thank you, thank you, thank you. She what? I love it.
Amazing.
Oh, I love it too.